Hi everyone, I'm Lizzie and this is Coleman and we are 2/3 of the Happy Disney Campers, and today we are going to give you 5 tips that we have for doing Disney with a toddler. So Coleman is going to start us off.
First thing is if you are staying in the park, staying in one of the resorts, you want to take advantage of the extra magic hours. And when I say take advantage, definitely take advantage of these hours because there are gonna be less people in the park. There are gonna be shorter lines, and you're gonna have the opportunity to jump on some of the rides or meet some of the characters a lot faster than you normally would. For our last trip, we were able to do this with Magic Kingdom on a couple of mornings, and we were able to get in there and meet Mickey. I think we waited.
Less than 10 minutes.
I think the sign said 15 minutes, and we were there less than 10 minutes to get in or to actually see Mickey.
And we rode rides like Winnie the Pooh and Peter Pan that we typically can't ride unless we have fast passes for, because Aria doesn't want to ever wait that long in a line.
So what this let us do is kind of start our day off. We used it for Magic Kingdom. We started our day off at Magic Kingdom, and instead of spending the entire day there, we would, after the crowd started to move in, move off onto one of the other parks.
Because it did open at 7 while we were there. So we'd get there right at opening time, and then one day we stayed there until another park opened at 9, and another day we stayed there until we had breakfast reservations about 10 o'clock. So it was great for us. Another tip that we have is know your toddler's limits. Tip number 2, know your toddler's limits. We came back every day and we would rest. We would leave around lunchtime. We would sometimes eat lunch there. Sometimes we would come back and eat lunch at our camper. It just kind of depended on our plans for the rest of the day. And we would take a nap, which was wonderful. My favorite part of the whole day was nap time. But just to give Aria a chance, and us, frankly, a chance to recharge, because there is a lot going on. Your toddler will be very overstimulated. So a lot's going on. They're going to need kind of that downtime to recharge and kind of reset, especially have that time with mom and dad to go back to, okay, this is kind of the way that we do things in our little family, especially because they're around all that stuff.
Tip number 3, know where the baby care stations are and the restrooms are. A lot of the parks the baby care stations are right at the opening. Just check the maps and you can find them. And then know where the restrooms are and know where the companion stations are. So we have a 3-year-old little girl, and she needs to use the restroom, and when she says, I gotta go, you gotta go. There was one point, I didn't really pay attention to this when we were at Hollywood Studios, and I think that I took the longest route to get to to a restroom that I possibly could. When I would have just turned right instead of left, I would have been right there at the restroom. And when you gotta go for a little one. And also, in talking about that, one of the things that we noticed is we have a little girl, and a lot of the ladies' restrooms have really long lines all the time. The moms were taking the kids to the restroom. Dad's time to dad up. Sometimes you gotta take the little one to the bathroom. You gotta help them take care of business.
So that was a good thing where the companion restrooms would come into. He was able to take Aria to the bathroom, and it just be the one single one where he could go, or just the regular men's restroom wasn't too
bad.
Difficult to take her to as well. And you can always find those again on the maps that you can get when you go right in, or the app. You can always search for the restrooms on the app, and it'll even give you walking directions, I think, to where they are. So. Tip number 4 is bring bathing suits and towels and extra clothes, because I think most of the parks will always have some kind of splash pad area. I know Disney Springs has one, which isn't a park, but just an extra one. Epcot has one. Animal Kingdom has a little something. I wouldn't necessarily call it a splash pad, but it's got a little something. And Magic Kingdom does have a little kids splash area over in the circus area. I can't remember what it's called right now off the top of my head.
Completely blank.
And Aria loves those things. And so we would take her we'd maybe put her in her bathing suit or just take her bathing suit with us depending on the temperature for the day. So she would be able to play in that stuff because she does love a splash pad. So make sure that if that's something your kids are interested in, to have those things ready, because otherwise they'll see it, they'll definitely want to do it, and then you'll be like, I don't have any extra clothes, or I don't have what I need. So make sure you go ahead and pack those things with you so your kid can take advantage, or you and your kid can take advantage of those fun moments. So.
All right, are we on to number 5?
We're on number 5.
Number
rolling
5.
through.
All right, don't overplan. Don't overplan for a couple of reasons. Don't overplan for yourself because you might end up in disappointment. Because if you have a small one already, you already know that sometimes you're their call. You know, they say no, you're not doing it. They throw a fit, they slow you down, they can pitch a tantrum. And you know, I think we might have addressed this earlier in tip number 2 about know your toddler's limits. But there's a lot going on, and they are overstimulated, and so they see everything going on, and then there are long lines on top of that. They don't necessarily know. They don't have the patience to handle it. So you're gonna have to really think through what can we do. So I'm not saying set the bar low, but have the proper expectations about what you can get through in a park. If you're on Disney property, that's great. Again, you can take advantage of those magic hours. If you're going, I would probably say take advantage of the park hopper passes. You know, if it's all adults going or adults and some older kids, you could probably get away with not doing a park hopper, but having the little one, you want that park hopper because you may show up at Magic Kingdom and be like, there are way too many people here. Maybe we should hit up one of the other parks. And one of the ways to kind of judge that is check the app and check the times. And look at the times. If you see that, you know, everything in our Hollywood studio has low wait times, there are probably not as many people there that day. And it's a great place to probably swing over and take advantage of. While we were there, one of the things that I did notice when we were leaving early is when we left Epcot, when we left Magic Kingdom, when we left Hollywood Studios, there were still always massive lines and crowds of people trying to get into the park. However, when we were at Animal Kingdom,
nobody was trying to get in.
Very few people trying to get in. They weren't backed up. They weren't these long lines that they had to wait.
Which is probably because it was lunchtime and it was hot. Everyone always jokes about how it's always a little hotter at Animal Kingdom. So, I mean, that's always something to consider. Again, it's hot. You have a toddler. Maybe not something you necessarily want to do, but again,
there's plenty of shade there. There's plenty of shade around to jump into.
Okay. And with that, just remember to always be flexible. When we would go, I'd see these parents with these written out plans and agendas and everything, and that's insane. Just be flexible, because sometimes we would just have to leave because Aria would be done for the day, regardless of maybe what we wanted to do or ideas that we kind of had for our day. So definitely just go with the mindset of, I'm here for my kid, maybe not necessarily for us. So just be flexible.
So that's it. 5. That's all we got.
We have a bonus tip.
Bonus.
Yes. So know where, if it's important to you, know where the characters are that you want to look for. And it's really helpful on the app. You can search by name for them and see where they are, and they can give you walking directions based on your location in the park, and it's great. And what we did this time, and I cannot claim this as our own idea because we definitely saw this a lot when we went in September, but not so much this time. I didn't see this book as much. But we gave Aria this book. So it's the Junior Encyclopedia of Animated Characters. So a lot of the newer ones aren't in here. Probably up through like Anna and Elsa.
Yeah, Moana
probably the newest ones that are in there. But it is great because it has pictures of the characters. Let me find someone we actually... So yeah, Moana, not in there. So we have Moana signed. But... see who I can find. Should have had this. Like, we met Lilo, and Lilo signed on her actual page. So it's kind of cool. Aria got really excited when she could go show the characters their picture, And a lot of the characters that aren't in like a masked costume know what their page numbers are in this book too. So it was really helpful. They were helpful, especially when you would meet more than one at a time. Like in Princess Fairy Tale Hall, when you would meet 2 princesses at a time, or when we met Aladdin and Jasmine, like they knew what each other's page numbers were, and they would be helpful in kind of turning to the next page. So if you do have this book, don't be overwhelmed in trying to find everyone. Like the cast members are helpful in knowing, especially if they've been with that character a lot, and the characters themselves know.
I think I enjoyed the book
I know,
just as much as Aria.
It is a little heavy, but I didn't mind carrying it around. It was so fun flipping to all the pages and having the characters.
They have a paperback version of the book too. It's not going to save you a ton of weight, but if weight's a concern, you can get the paperback as well.
But we did do the hardcover because it is in the book bag. The book bag gets thrown around a little bit because, I mean, we are at Disney World and we got a lot going on. So.
Right. Also, one of the things to consider whenever you are going to meet the characters are the fireworks. Now, our little one, she's trying to decide if she likes the fireworks or not. It's kind of hit or miss. But one of the things to think of is if you don't mind missing the fireworks, and especially if your little one doesn't want to see the fireworks, it really, really shortens the line at the characters. The day we were Magic Kingdom, Tinkerbell's line had been 45 plus minutes the entire day. Probably about 5 minutes before the fireworks had started, Tinkerbell's line all of a sudden changed to 15 minutes. And we jumped in line, and what do you know? People start getting out of line because they don't want to miss that fireworks show. I think we waited in line for Tinkerbell for roughly 10 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, even like 30 plus minutes before the fireworks show starts, people will be getting out of line because they want to get a good spot for it. So, I mean, that is always an option. I mean, and obviously it's an option for us because she's not a fan of the fireworks. So.
And that doesn't just go for the characters, that goes for any of the rides as well. I mean, we saw a reduction in times. As soon as fireworks start, majority of the park is trying to find a good place on Main Street. If it's at Magic Kingdom, trying to find a good place to watch.
And that goes for Magic Kingdom. I know Epcot kind of closes with the fireworks, and I don't know how the other ones work because we've never actually stayed for the fireworks before. So don't judge us on that one. But definitely at Magic Kingdom, if you don't mind, stay and do some other stuff during the fireworks. So, all right. That's it.
That's our 5+1 bonus tip. And you know, as we start to go, you know, take a few more trips throughout the year, we may add to this. So keep a lookout for more.
And thanks so much for watching. And if you like it, give us a thumbs up. And please subscribe to our channel. We will be doing vlogs every Wednesday. Thought we could do a theme of Walt Disney Wednesday. Definitely didn't come up with that one either. So stealing all of my taglines.
Good luck.
Thanks so much for watching.
Have fun on your next trip.
Bye.